Hey guys, tonight we're about to embark on a journey through the life of one of history's most fascinating figures, Miyamoto Musashi. You might want to cozy up in your favorite spot, wrap those cold toes in a blanket, and maybe grab that lukewarm tea you forgot on the counter. Seriously, why do we do that? It's like we're trying to see how many unused mugs can accumulate in one sitting. So just picture yourself living in Japan during the late 16th century, where the air is thick with the scent of cherry blossoms and the soft sounds of nature fill your ears. But instead of a peaceful scene, you wake up to the sounds of clashing swords and the rustle of armor. Honestly, you probably won't survive this, but don't worry, it's just a metaphorical wake-up experience. You know those mornings where setting 5 alarms doesn't help, and you still end up blurry-eyed? Well, this is like that, except you're practicing for a duel with a samurai. Before you get too comfy, feel free to tap like or subscribe, but only if you're genuinely enjoying the calm around here. Seriously, we need to acknowledge the fact that we're doing this cozy history gig together. Tell me where you're listening from and what time it is over there. I love seeing how far this sleepy little journey reaches. So, go ahead and lower the lights. Maybe let a fan hum in the background. And let's drift gently into tonight's story together. You see, you wake up one day, and for some reason, you're in 16th century Japan, standing in this old wooden hut with a sweet scent of rice cooking nearby. Your hair is tousled, and there's a sleepy pup beside you. Okay, maybe it's a dream dog because... Wait, are you really here? The soft glow of dawn peeks through the cracks, and you realize this is the beginning of your journey as Miyamoto Musashi, one of history's most celebrated swordsmen. Now, let's get the historical facts straight. Musashi is known for his unique two-sword style, which he referred to as Niten Ichiryu. Imagine him strutting around, showing off his sword skills like a YouTube influencer flaunting a trendy new outfit. It's almost like scrolling through TikToks and seeing someone nail that dance challenge. There's this weird mix of admiration and, let's be honest, a little jealousy. Historians still debate whether Musashi was really a genius or just really good at marketing himself. I mean, how many duels did he really win? As you shuffle through the cramped confines of your newfound life, you can't help but notice how oddly you feel like preparing for a Zoom meeting instead of, a life or death fight. You stand there, ready for battle, mentally going over your to-do list. Remember to breathe, avoid eye contact, and, oh yeah, don't get skewered. Then you think about how different this world is. Back home, you might be procrastinating with a million tabs open while trying to convince yourself that you're productive. But here, your heart is pounding, as though you were on the verge of sending that text. You know the one, the "I'll be on my way" kind of message, when you're still wrapped in your blanket burrito. The vibe is just so overwhelmingly intense. It's kind of terrifying, yet oddly exhilarating. Like the rush we get on movie nights with too much popcorn and not enough cozy blankets. You can't forget the sound of footsteps echoing outside. It's like someone is methodically pacing, and you start to feel the pressure mount. It's the equivalent of waiting for your ramen to boil while watching water for what feels like an eternity. Suddenly, it's boiling over, and you're like, where was I? The anticipation can drive a person a bit mad. Your reflection stares back at you from a nearby mirror, and you almost chuckle at how serious you look. Just a tired soul caught in a whirlwind of ancient Japanese drama. Honestly though, you can't help but think how ridiculous you'd look on an Instagram post. Not that anyone would even believe it. So much for that perfect feed. It's about this time that you reminisce about Musashi's childhood. A bit unconventional, and not unlike the bizarre childhood stories your friends tell at gatherings, as if they're describing a reality show gone off the rails. Born to a samurai family, he faced tragedy early on. His mother died when he was young, and his father trained him in swordsmanship. It's like that dead parent trope you see in every animated film, except it's only the beginning of a long, wild adventure. As you walk through this world, you can't help but notice the quirky interactions people have. They engage in friendly rivalries, back and forth banter that feels surprisingly relatable. Like you're scrolling through Discord chats as friends roast each other after a long gaming session. Samurais would tease each other over trivial things, like missing a war camp meeting. Total oops, wrong Zoom link vibes. And then there's the famous Nieten duel. Musashi learns to wield not just one, but two swords. It's as if he's flexing on all the wannabe warriors, kind of like how some TikTokers flex on their followers with amazing tricks they totally can't pull off in real life. Historians still argue whether he dreamt up the two-sword technique or if it was simply born from necessity. Maybe he had a 2-for-1 sale on swords. Who knows? You shake off this daydream and grab your first sword practice. The grip feels strangely familiar, but awkward simultaneously. How can you wield something so ancient yet feel it's been part of you forever? Perhaps it's like breaking into that dance you haven't done in a while. At first it feels off, but then your body remembers the rhythm. And suddenly, you're all in, sweat and all. Just as you start to feel that groove, you notice a fellow warrior named Koji, who seems to just be vibing through life. You can't help but laugh to yourself. Koji has a penchant for forgetting his gear. Kind of like when you leave your phone at home and have to do a half-hearted double back, feeling like you've just forgotten a limb. People whisper to each other, clearly unsure if they should help him out this time. Like a group chat where no one wants to take the plunge to remind everyone that the meeting's been rescheduled. Finally, as the day winds down, you find yourself preparing for the evening. A much softer atmosphere now, with lanterns fluttering like the glow of your phone during a midnight scroll. You reflect on Musashi's world and feel sleep's heavy blanket over you. Snuggled into the warmth of your new life, you can recognize that you're set for the adventures ahead. Maybe tomorrow you'll duel, but tonight you'll drift into sweet dreams wrapped in the cozy aura of history. As dawn breaks the following morning, you feel something funny in your chest, a mix of excitement and a hint of anxiety. It's like getting up for a big day ahead with nothing on the calendar but a growing urge to hit snooze. You stagger out of bed, rubbing the sleep from your eyes while a flickering lantern sways gently in the soft morning breeze. As you sit cross-legged on the straw mat, you sip some herbal tea, the earthy flavor grounding you in this bizarre reality you've stepped into. The warmth spreads through your fingers, and you can't help but think it's a lot like sipping that third cup of coffee, wishing it would magically transform you into a morning person. And then it hits you. Musashi is about to tackle what's known as the art of war. How cool, right? Now, straight off the bat, there's something historically significant. You remember that Musashi published the Book of Five Rings, his famous treatise on strategy and philosophy. It's kind of like the self-help book of the samurai world, giving insights into combat that has fans even today. Just imagine it, updating your Instagram story while quoting Musashi. The ultimate aim of martial arts is not having to fight. Like, how relatable. Historians still debate the extent of his wisdom. Could he have been a better philosopher than warrior? It's like when people argue over whether famous chefs are better at cooking or teaching how to cook. And yet, as you prepare to train, you recall your phone's habit of buzzing with their million notifications, constantly demanding your attention. Here, the only buzz comes from the whispering wind softly rustling through the trees. You chuckle to yourself, thinking how Musashi must have had his own concentrations and distractions, balancing swords and strategies, kind of like how you balance binge-watching shows while attempting to keep your life together. Today's training session carries an air of seriousness, akin to those high-pressure moments of sending an important email while double-checking yourself for typos. You know the vibe. You march toward the training grounds, where wooden dummies stand like little soldiers awaiting your battle. Musashi had this knack for absorbing lessons from nature, forging connections infused with a simplicity that speaks volumes. It's almost reminiscent of those moments when you just let a cat curl up on your lap while scrolling through heartwarming reels, feeling oddly victorious about preserving the simple joys amid busyness. As you hold your sword, now feeling oddly right in your grip, you take a practice swing, and suddenly, it's an interruption. Koji's shout echoes through the air. "Careful, that's not how we cut." Quiet and precise. Just like those moments when a friend jumps into your stream of thought, redirecting it with a comment or a meme, you try to channel your inner Musashi. Your stance shifting and adjusting as you focus on what's unnaturally daunting. And that's when it happens. You dive into movement, but then, bam, you trip over your own foot. The sword clatters to the ground beside you, and you can't help but burst into laughter. Honestly, it's a little comedic, and you think about how it's like stumbling during a TikTok dance. It's your one-woman show for the morning. Imagine the captions. When the battle of swordplay conflicts with your two left feet, you get up, brushing yourself off, realizing that even the great Musashi had his moments of clumsiness. But that's the journey, you say, half turning to Koji, who's smirking like he just watched the most entertaining video. His laughter mingles with the others around you, reminding you that sometimes you need to drop the serious act and just enjoy learning. Even if it means falling flat on your face occasionally, there's something refreshing about the camaraderie you feel. It's like sitting in a cafe with friends sharing cringe-worthy stories about your lives. As you continue to train, sweat trickles down your forehead. You remind yourself to breathe, much like you'd stop and take a breath while scrolling through your endless notifications. This fierce warrior spirit inside of you is sparking something unexpected. It's like when you finally prioritize your self-care routine. The feeling of accomplishment washes over you. You find motivation from Musashi's own pursuit of mastery, a path often marked with trials and errors. Part of those trials takes you outside your comfort zone, like feeling skittish when trying to do a difficult yoga pose for the first time. It's humorous, really, the ways you prepare yourself and then hilariously misstep. You imagine a world where warriors practice what not to do routines, instead of just focusing on techniques, scrolling through TikTok tutorials of things to avoid. After what feels like an eternity of training, the day winds down, the sun casting a warm glow across the training ground. You and Koji are lounging nearby, catching your breath, and he cracks a smile as he tosses a small wooden sword your way. "You know," he says, "if we were back home, they'd probably be rolling their eyes at our pretend battles. Yeah, I'd be the one practicing at home until someone finally dropped in to kick me out and stop the never-ending duel of boredom." You break into laughter, picturing yourself locked in a silly standoff with your cat, both of you looking utterly ridiculous, like you were meant to fight over the last piece of sushi. As the sun dips behind the horizon, you feel the tension of the day wash away. The evening brings a sense of calm. Stories of legendary warriors and epic battles echo in your thoughts, their trials blending with your own clumsy experiences in the dojo. You realize you're part of something larger than just swordplay. This exploration of life, depth, and humor under the curious starlit sky. And as you lay under the stars, exhausted but fulfilled, you reflect on this experience. It's a lot like those quiet evenings you spend after a long day, curling up in fuzzy socks with your favorite blanket, while mulling over small joys, your heart anchored in the simple moments, much like Musashi was, seeking the very same balance in his life and teachings. Tomorrow promises another day of training and challenge. Who knows what might happen next? Adventure awaits, and you can't help but smile, ready for whatever comes your way, all while figuring out how to wield not just a sword, but a life well lived, filled with laughter, friendship, and maybe a few graceful tumbles along the way. The next morning greets you with the soft chirping of birds, a sweet serenade gently nudging you awake. The sky above is painted in soft pastels, and the world outside feels vibrant yet peaceful, almost like the morning sun is smiling just for you. You roll out of bed, the cozy straw mat welcoming your feet like a welcoming hug, and for a moment, you just breathe it all in. This place, this time. It feels magical, but as you shuffle outside, still trying to wake up even more fully, you quickly realize something. Today is the day you might actually face a duel. The nervous flutter in your stomach feels a bit like when you know that new episode of your favorite show has dropped. It's thrilling, yet nerve-wracking. Do you binge watch it immediately, or save it for a cozy night in? In Musashi's day, duels were anything but casual. Speaking of historical facts, did you know that Musashi fought a famous duel against Sasaki Kojiro on the island of Ganru? It was legendary. This was like the culmination of epic rivalries, each one gripping swords firmly and holding steadfast beliefs, just like people cling to their favorite streaming services during a cliffhanger. Historians still argue whether the duel was more about honor or vengeance. It's like debating whether we should let spoilers slip or keep them under wraps while discussing the latest plot twists. You can't shake off the comparison as you make your way to the training area, where the air is thick with anticipation, almost crackling with energy. Your heart races with both excitement and trepidation, much like the feeling of sending that risky text message. You know, the one where your palms go clammy as you hit send, hoping for the best. Here you are, sliding into your role as a warrior, like you're testing the waters of a new friend group on TikTok, unsure about how it'll turn out. As practice begins, you're fueled by this odd mix of fear and adrenaline while watching the others spar. It makes you chuckle to think about how warriors were probably just as awkward as modern folks trying to figure out the latest dance move. You catch sight of Koji, demonstrating a series of moves that are surprisingly fluid, almost as if he's been taking some kind of ancient ninja dance classes. And knowing how much effort you've put into not tripping on your own feet, you can't help but appreciate the skill involved. The instructor approaches. He has an air of seriousness about him, his features carved from years of battles fought and won. You can feel the weight of tradition hanging around, almost like trying to juggle a dozen responsibilities back in your comfy life, while still managing to scroll through memes for the sake of leisure. It's a balance of focus, acknowledging the importance of this moment, while still allowing laughter to spill out as a release. Today, we're preparing for duels, he announces, and suddenly, the reality of what's ahead sinks in. You force yourself to suppress a nervous laugh. What would people say if they could see you in this wooden dojo, getting ready to engage in a duel, when half the time you can't even engage in a group chat without cracking up? Managed chaos explodes around you as practice begins. Spikes of laughter slip through the seriousness as comrades pair off. You can't help but imagine a modern world where swords are traded for smartphones, where instead of a face-off with swords, it's all about memes or roasting someone in a group chat. It would be an entirely different battlefield, right? Finally, it's your turn to spar. You approach focused, taking everything one step at a time, as if you're working up to the perfect TikTok reveal instead of an epic battle. Your heart races as you stare down your opponent. They're confident, almost smug, and you feel that familiar pang of tension. The kind that sparks before posting an embarrassing photo that's meant to be funny, but might backfire spectacularly. As the match begins, you swing, and your first strike lands softly, like your first attempt at tasting sushi rolls when you were convinced they'd be too adventurous. You dance around, trying to channel the graceful movements of Musashi himself. But then, oops, your foot catches, and suddenly you're doing this weird, awkward shuffle reminiscent of a kitten trying to walk on hardwood floors. The laughter from the crowd is warm, encouraging, and you can't help but join in. You realize this is about learning. The dojo is alive with energy, much like how it feels when your squad finally gets together to discuss that show you all love, quips bouncing between you like arrows on a battlefield. Your opponent sidesteps. You regain your footing and glance around, a sea of encouraging faces that remind you of the supportive comments you get after posting another goofy selfie online. You return to the fight, the air growing thicker with determination. In this moment, your sword becomes an extension of yourself, almost like navigating a particularly tricky level of your favorite video game that you hadn't quite figured out yet. But remember the open question historians argue about. Why exactly did so many duels occur? Were they fueled by honor? Was it more about being the best? Or was it something entirely different, like feeling compelled to record that TikTok for clarity? The challenge of boasting and cheeky pride wrapped up together? Back in the practice, the duality of your fears and laughter continues to shape the day as the match progresses. It becomes a delightful dance. You strike and parry, a joy rising within you, despite the best efforts of your opponent to knock you flat. As the crowd murmurs, supportive cheers blend with moments of laughter, a reminder that every clash, every moment spent here is about understanding oneself in a space of growth. At some point, you find an opening, and it happens. Your sword connects. It's like the eureka moment that fills your heart with triumph, the sweet essence of victory that so often feels fleeting. It echoes through the air, and cheers erupt, wrapping around you like a cozy blanket fresh out of the dryer. In that moment, the exhilaration is palpable. No filter needed, just a pure, unadulterated win. When the match concludes, you high-five your opponent, realizing this is what Musashi embraced, the spirit of renewal and transformation. And as you step away from the fight, you breathe a sigh of relief, feeling lighter than before. This whole duel scene is a blend of old-world honor and new-age relatability, much like the experiences we have, where every struggle can feel like a moment gifted to us, an opportunity for growth and laughter alike. As the sun begins to set, painting the horizon in warm hues that make you feel grateful, you remember to take a moment. This experience is a lot like sitting down at the end of a long day, tossing off those fuzzy slippers and relaxing in pure contentment. These moments, balanced between excitement and playfulness, allow you to forge connections not only with your comrades, but with yourself. So allow yourself to drift with it, like the soothing hum of the night ready to embrace a new day, full of whatever wild adventures tomorrow may bring. The next morning, you awaken to the soft sounds of nature. The chirping of birds filters through the wooden walls of your sanctuary, gently nudging you awake. It feels peaceful, almost like a gentle embrace coaxing you out of your dreams. As you sit up, the soft light pours in through the cracks, illuminating the straw mat beneath you. You stretch, feeling a bit like a cat waking up from a lengthy nap, slow and lazy, but with a spark of playfulness lingering in the air. Today feels significant. After yesterday's duel, that adrenaline still courses through your veins, like the coffee that somehow transformed you from a sleepyhead into someone ready to tackle the day. And honestly, you might even feel a twinge of confidence creeping in, much like when you post a new selfie on social media, biting your nails in suspense as you wait for those first likes to pop up. As you prepare yourself for another day of training, that tingle of anticipation tickles your gut. You can't shake off the feeling that something unexpected may happen. There's a unique whimsy in the air today, a bit like when you suddenly find yourself scrolling through silly animal videos just to brighten your mood, not quite realizing how much time has passed. You step outside, the sun warming your skin as you stroll toward the training grounds. A slight breeze plays at your hair, and it feels almost magical, like that rare moment when everything seems to line up perfectly, like hitting the share button on a hilarious meme that you just know will crack up your friends. But as you arrive, you find a peculiar sight, a group gathering around a new figure in the dojo. Your curiosity piqued, you step closer to see that a new instructor has arrived. And let's just say, he looks the part. He's tall, with a long flowing mane like a lion's, exuding an aura of charisma that few could match. The warriors around you whisper excitedly, and a mischievous grin spreads across your face as you contemplate the potential chaos that this could bring. Like when a new friend enters your group and instantly raises the energy levels to a delightful pitch. Gather round, the instructor bellows, voice booming across the training grounds. Today, we're going to learn about strategy, the very foundations that can change the tide of battle. You can't help but feel a sense of anticipation building, like the delicious moment just before biting into a slice of chocolate cake. There's a certain gravity to this lesson, especially considering how Musashi utilized strategy to navigate battles throughout his life. This isn't everyday knowledge. It's something you'd pay premium bucks for in a self-help webinar. It strikes you that Musashi's journey began with lessons that live on, much like how modern techniques and videos are passed down through social media. Historians still vigorously debate the effectiveness of strategic planning versus pure instinct in combat. Is it a matter of careful thought, or do gut feelings win the day? It's kind of like the dispute over whether you need to rehearse every TikTok dance move, or just go out there and wing it, relying on the whole feel of the moment. The new instructor's passionate delivery seems to pull you into a different mindset. You lean forward, soaking in every word. This feels like a fascinating fusion of history and modern culture. It's all very relatable, tapping into shared experiences of watching YouTube tutorials on everything from cooking to how to navigate life's odd dilemmas. You want to wrap this knowledge up like a warm gift to keep close, a cozy reminder of growth through challenges. He draws arrows in the sand, explaining formations and strategies. You find it oddly satisfying to watch, much like organizing your closet or your desktop icons into some semblance of order. The way the instructor moves reminds you of those skilled TikTokers who make even the most mundane tasks look effortless and engaging. You chuckle softly to yourself, imagining your life as a series of TikToks. There's probably an audience for that, right? As the lesson unfolds, he gets closer to you, speaking of predicting your opponent's moves. To truly understand your opponent, you must also understand yourself, he says, leaning toward the group, eyes sparkling with intensity. It resonates deep within you, much like those moments of self-reflection we often encounter when scrolling through old photos, wondering how you've changed over time. The instructor encourages everyone to pair up for a practical exercise, diving into simulated battles to develop strategies based on what you've learned. And the whole thing means sinking deeper into that warm, cozy atmosphere you've been relishing. You're paired with Koji again, who flashes a grin that practically beams. Ready to put our newfound wisdom to the test, he teases lightly. The training begins, and the nervous excitement builds in the pit of your stomach. You draw your sword, feeling a sense of empowerment, yet a hint of anxiety. It feels like the thrill of sending a bold text to someone crush-worthy, full of possibility, but with a shadow of doubt lingering at the edges. What if you mess up? What if all this practice leads to another fumbled attempt with no grace that Mikado, your relentless rival, would never let you forget? With the instructor's strategies swirling around in your mind, you and Koji take your stances. Remembering the instructor's advice, you focus, drawing those calm and collected principles into the forefront. The world around you seems to slow down, like you're sitting in a coffee shop, watching the world flow by on a lazy Sunday. You engage in a dance of sorts, striking, dodging, and anticipating Koji's movements. It feels almost graceful, a rhythm developing that you didn't anticipate would come to life quite like this. It's a spontaneous joy that reminds you of those moments when you finally ace a complicated video game level after countless retries. When you parry Koji's sword with a fluid motion, it sends a rush of jubilance through you, igniting that warrior spirit Musashi was famed for. Here's the funny part. In the midst of all this combat practice, a quick glance at the sidelines stabs your concentration, where you spot a wooden dummy in need of repair. It presents an odd distraction, like glancing at a friend's tap back on your chat, while you are mid-rant about the importance of strategy. And yet, it makes you unexpectedly grateful for the innovation that brings this moment to life. As your practice session winds down to a close, you feel the weight of accomplishment settling within you like a comfy blanket after a long day. They say battle teaches you as much about yourself as it does about your opponent, and here, amid laughter and gentle jabs, you realize that you're learning every step of the way. Later, everyone gathers around the instructor once more, eager to hear what he has to say. He shares wisdom like anecdotes from Musashi's life, reflecting on strategy and resilience, imparting lessons that resonate even today. The air is electric, filled with laughter and camaraderie, bringing this melting pot of ideas alive. It's a celebration, one that brings you closer to understanding Musashi, revealing that he, too, balanced the art of war with the unpredictable dance of life. As the sun sets yet again, casting shadows over the training grounds, you find yourself teetering on the edge of reflection. There's a comfort in knowing that each step in this dance of preparing for battle draws you closer to understanding, not just of others, but of yourself. It's like nestled in the acknowledgements of friendships, adventures, and shared laughter, no matter how silly or chaotic. And just as you prepare to leave, you glance back at the training area one last time. With a smile on your face, you remember that today was just a snapshot in a beautiful journey. Who knows what tomorrow might bring? More lessons, more laughter, With the spirit of Musashi guiding your heart, you're ready for whatever comes. A soft, gentle echo of excitement lingers as night envelopes the world, inviting sweet dreams and endless possibilities. You wake to the gentle glow of dawn seeping through the wooden shutters, shimmering softly on the floor. This morning feels different. It's imbued with a heightened sense of anticipation, like the calm before an epic release of your favorite show. You know something special is on the horizon, and you can't shake that bubbling excitement, much like the thrill that accompanies the first sip of that freshly brewed coffee, feeling it warm your soul. Today is a day unlike any other in your journey as Miyamoto Musashi. You can just feel it. The memory of the previous day's training replaying in your mind fills you with eagerness. Channeling those lessons on strategy and self-awareness feels like the culmination of your experiences thus far. It's one thing to swing a sword and train rigorously. It's another to meld it all together, crafting a warrior's mindset from all the knowledge you've gathered. You shuffle over to get ready, the days of fearless sparring now awakening this understanding of the complexities within combat. You find yourself drawing parallels to the modern world, where each battle, whether on the dojo floor or in dealing with day-to-day chaos, requires deft maneuvering and strategic thinking. Your phone buzzes in your pocket, and you can't help but think of the endless distractions, capturing those fleeting moments like using a filter to enhance your life's most mundane clips. As you step outside, inhaling the fresh morning air, a symphony of chirping birds ushers you forward. The sun bathes everything in a golden hue, painting the scene before you with warmth and light. Today is special, and there's no mistaking it. The training grounds, which have become your second home, now feel charged with energy. You spot some of your fellow warriors gathering in clusters, clearly buzzing in anticipation. It's not just another day of practice. You overhear snippets of conversation. "The Festival of Warriors," one shouts. "Festival?" You suddenly feel like a child on the morning of your birthday, heart racing with excitement, wondering just what awaits you. Now here's a juicy historical tidbit. The samurai culture was not only about warfare and skill with a sword. They also emphasized the importance of art and celebration. Events like these are where people came together to show off their skills, engage in combat demonstrations, and honor the warrior spirit. It seems like this festival will be a perfect blend of honor and celebration, much like those food festivals we attend today to celebrate culinary creativity and social bonding. With your curiosity piqued, you weave through the throng of excited faces, trying to gather snippets of information about what the festival entails. You remind yourself of the import of these gatherings, each celebration rooted in rich traditions, tying back to Musashi and the spirit of samurai. Historians still debate the impact of these festivals. Some argue they were essential for strengthening bonds, while others suggest they were mere distractions from the very nature of being warriors. It's like today's debates about whether social media brings us closer or just feeds into our collective anxiety. You know, those late-night scrolling sessions where you ponder the vast depths of online existence. As you arrive at the center of the training grounds, a makeshift arena has been erected. The buzz of excitement wraps around you like a cozy shawl. Warriors, both seasoned and novices, are gathering, their faces illuminated with shared anticipation. You watch as various activities are set up: a martial arts demonstration, a mock duel, and even a booth for crafts and artistry. Some warriors are practicing their forms, while others are showcasing their swords, polishing them to a glimmering shine. And then you see it, the duel competition, where warriors will face off against one another under the watchful eyes of the audience. Your heart races. Could this be your moment? A chance to put everything you've learned into practice? It feels a bit like preparing for an audition, where you're not quite sure if you'll hit the notes. You begin to fidget and mentally prepare yourself, trying to manage the bubbling nerves that are threatening to spill over. You find Koji again, who's practically vibrating with excitement at the prospect of showcasing his skills. "Are you ready for this?" He grins, and his enthusiasm is contagious. You nod, feeling that flutter of nerves and excitement blend together like a delightful smoothie of feelings. You can't help but mimic a dramatic warrior pose, channeling your inner Musashi while recalling his stories. A man whose life was so rich with experience that he became a legend in his own right. As the festival activities kick off, you learn about the various aspects of this warrior event, stories that reflect camaraderie, showcasing the essence of being a samurai, balancing duty with leisure. You engage with fellow participants, sharing laughter and camaraderie, the way a group of friends would tease each other back home while waiting for pizza to arrive. And just like that, the competition begins. The air is electric with anticipation as names are called, and warriors step into the ring. You take a moment to absorb the energy, stepping back and watching. Every clash of swords and every painted expression carries stories, moments of hard work, training, and genuine passion, all aligning into this melee of movement. You soon find yourself in the lineup, waiting your turn, like the twist of fate when you find out you've been selected to share a bizarre story in front of friends. When your name is finally called, you step into the arena, your heart racing. It feels surreal, almost dreamlike, as you stand opposite your opponent. Your instincts kick in, recalling everything you've learned from previous lessons. The crowd seems to vanish as you focus. Sword raised, you pause just long enough to breathe in the atmosphere. I mean, it's pretty much like preparing yourself for an epic showdown in your favorite action movie, where your only thought is about how much popcorn you'll be able to munch on after if you win. Your opponent makes the first move, a quick thrust. In that moment, you remember every strategy lesson, channeling the deep thoughts of Musashi as you parry and sidestep, like that thrilling moment when you nail a difficult TikTok dance you'd been practicing in your room. The crowd cheers, and you can feel that bubbling pride welling up within you. Round after round you engage, rallying your strength, every swing translating your training into skill. You can feel those clumsy mishaps fading into memory as you gain confidence with each set of movements. There's a lightness in the air, laughter intertwining with the focus, a camaraderie reminiscent of late-night gaming sessions where you just can't get enough and everything feels wonderfully alive. As the final clash arrives between you and your last opponent, the sound of metal striking metal creates a beautiful symphony of challenge and growth. With each attack, you wield your sword not just as a weapon, but as an extension of yourself, feeling the powerful connection between mind and body. And then it all comes full circle as you deliver that final strike, a move you had practiced countless times before. You feel an exhilarating wave wash over you when the match concludes. There it is, the sweet taste of victory. And in that moment, you can't help but think that winning isn't just about triumph. It's about embracing the journey, every moment that led you to this exact place. The cheers of the crowd surge around you like wind through grass. You grin, feeling the warmth of joy flood your heart. This whole experience, while heavy with history, feels astoundingly relatable, binding you to those who, like you, seek growth through dedication and practice. As you savor this moment of achievement, the sun slowly begins to dip in the sky, casting golden hues over the arena. The festival is only just beginning to unfold, and you look forward to sharing the stories of your adventures with your fellow warriors, just like those cozy evenings spent swapping tales of triumphs and struggles with your friends. As night falls and lanterns twinkle to life, you step back, taking in the warmth of camaraderie and laughter surrounding you. The spirit of Musashi lives on within you, vibrant and alive, guiding your heart into the embrace of new adventures that lay ahead. Tomorrow awaits, promising even more tales and experiences. But for tonight, you delight in this moment of joy, surrounded by laughter, bonds, and the endless possibilities that life continues to offer. Once the festivities begin to settle into a gentle ambiance, the arena takes on a softer glow from the lanterns swaying in the evening breeze. You wander among the crowd, soaking in the jubilant atmosphere like a cozy evening curled up with your dog, enveloped in warmth and contentment. Laughter and the sounds of clinking cups filled with warm sake or tea blend seamlessly into the background, creating a harmonious melody echoing the joy and camaraderie shared by all. You find yourself gravitating toward a nearby booth where artisans display their craft. Intricate swords, beautifully painted scrolls illustrating samurai legends, and playful trinkets made from bamboo that catch your eye. It strikes you how, much like today's resurgence of artisanal crafts online, these pieces tell stories of creativity and heritage. Picking up a small, handcrafted charm, you pause to imagine the kind of stories it holds within its delicate threads. It's here that you notice others gathered as well, a small circle surrounding the charismatic instructor from earlier. He's regaling a group with tales of Musashi's exploits, recounting vivid battles like a storyteller passing wisdom through generations. The rhythmic flow of his voice draws you in, transporting you to ancient Japan, where you envision warriors clashing in dramatic duels beneath cherry blossom trees, petals swirling through the air like confetti celebrating life itself. You learn more about Musashi's famous duel with Sasaki Kojiro, mythical even in his time, and how tactics and mental acuity were as vital as swordsmanship. You chuckle to yourself, imagining Kojiro waving his sword dramatically, no doubt caught up in the stylistic flair of his own performance. The instructor's animated gestures remind you of your friends imitating movie scenes during those late-night movie marathons, each person layered in humor and characterization, breathing life into the stories at hand. And here's an interesting tidbit that sends a giggle through the crowd. Musashi was known to choose an unconventional weapon for that duel, an oar, no less. You can almost picture people lining up to hear tales of great warriors discussing their weaponry like kids excitedly trading baseball cards. Historians still debate the logic behind that choice. Was it strategy, or simply a witty comment on the nature of swords? Maybe it was an ultimate flex, like showing up to a dodgeball game with a shield instead of a standard ball. Totally unexpected, and definitely memorable. As tales continue to unfurl, you feel your heart swelling with pride and connection, almost like the warm fuzzies you get during a heartwarming movie scene when friends gather and reflect on their adventures. These warriors standing beside you embody the spirit of honor and resilience, and you take a moment to relish the bond shared among you all, a thread woven through love for your craft and dedication to preserving history while learning. Later in the evening, after a round of rice balls and some delicious grilled fish shared with fellow warriors as you swap stories, the festival culminates in a ceremonial celebration. Musicians begin to play traditional instruments, filling the air with melodic notes, a soothing backdrop that wraps around you like a cherished blanket. You sit, feeling utterly content, and laugh with Koji as he takes one too many sips of sake, his jokes becoming increasingly animated. It's like watching that friend who goes from shy and quiet to the life of the party after the first round of drinks. Endearing and utterly captivating. The atmosphere vibrates with warmth, reminding you of simpler times spent around a campfire, talking late into the night with friends about life, ambitions, and the dreams that fuel your souls. There's something eternally magical about sitting under the stars, bonding over shared experiences. As the night gradually deepens, the final segment of the festival invites everyone to join in a friendly dance. Much like those spontaneous dance-offs you've seen in viral videos, bursting with infectious joy, the crowd gathers together, laughter echoing in the crisp night air as people share and showcase their traditional dances. You look around, wondering how terrifically awkward this could get, allowing yourself to be wrapped up in the excitement. Feeling bold, you step forward, and with each movement, you find yourself blending the warrior spirit with the joy of the moment. The rhythmic beats send you swaying, spinning, immersed in an experience that transcends time, much like a dance party that can elevate your mood sky high, regardless of how the day went. It's a beautiful reminder that life is not just about battles and strife, but also about connections and joyous moments tucked between the challenges. As you twirl alongside fellow warriors who share in the laughter and meld their spirits into this evening of festive enjoyment, you realize you're creating memories that will stay etched in your heart, reminding you of your journey and the path ahead. As the night draws to a close, you feel the buzz of the experience settling into your bones. You can see the glow of the lantern slowly dimming as laughter echoes into the distance, much like the soft hum of your fridge at midnight when all is quiet and still. Normal life gently cradling you back. You take a deep breath, looking around at your community, fellow warriors, friends, teachers, arrayed around you like constellations in the night sky, each twinkling light representing a story, an ambition, a connection. These experiences have woven themselves intricately into your heart, shaping you into who you are becoming in this incredible journey. With a gentle smile, you curl up in your bed, reflecting on the day's adventures and the stories yet to come. It dawns on you that the festival was more than just a leave from sword practice. It was a celebration of life, a reminder of resilience and joy, embracing the whimsical blend of history and modern camaraderie. Tonight's laughter will echo long past this journey, and you can't help but look forward to the adventures waiting on the horizon. With a soft sigh, you drift off into dreams, where samurais dance among the stars, sharing tales of honor, wisdom, and laughter, reminding you gently that every step, every strike, and every moment spent in joy builds the essence of the warrior spirit within you. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, new understandings, and perhaps another festival of its own. The possibilities are as boundless as the night sky above you, filled with endless stars, guiding your journey forward. The sun pulls you from your slumber the next morning, casting soft beams of light that dance across your room. You stretch your arms above your head, shaking off the remnants of sleep as the warm light wraps around you like a gentle embrace. As you bask in this moment of tranquility, you can't help but reflect on the festival from the night before, how the laughter lingered in your mind, the joy of dancing with fellow warriors melting into the fabric of your memories. It feels a lot like waking up after a dream vacation, that delicious feeling of fulfillment lingering long after the adventures have ended. But today is not just another day. There's a whisper of excitement in the air that hints at the potential for new experiences, a pulse beating beneath the surface. You roll out of bed, your feet sinking briefly into the soft straw mat as you prepare for whatever the day may hold. There's an odd sensation fluttering in your stomach, a blend of anticipation and a smidge of anxiety, much like the first day of school or when you're waiting to perform in front of an audience, your heart racing at the very thought. As you step outside, the world seems to bloom around you. The birds sing their morning songs, harmonizing in a symphony of nature that makes you feel grounded yet excited. Like Musashi himself would have experienced, there's something invigorating about nature that stirs your senses, a reminder of the world beyond the dojo and the significance it holds. You meander toward the training grounds, where the air is already buzzing with energy. Fellow warriors are gathering, clearly excited for another day of practice. You catch glimpses of light sparring and hear laughter bubbling across the field. Today, however, there's an air of mystery as you remember whispers circulating about a legendary warrior who might visit the dojo to share his wisdom. It's like waiting for a surprise guest at a party, an unnamed excitement thrumming in the crowd. You finally arrive at the throngs of warriors, each person animatedly discussing what might unfold. Koji, as energetic as ever, pulls you into the conversations. Did you hear? They say the master of swordsmanship, Yagyu Jubei, is coming to lead a session. Can you believe it? The exuberance in his voice is infectious, and you can't help but feel a sense of awe bubbling within you. This isn't just any ordinary lesson. Yagyu Jubei was renowned for his prowess in sword techniques, a living legend. You take a moment to bask in the serendipity, realizing that you're all part of something greater, a moment in history unfolding right before your eyes. Historical fact alert: Yagyu Jubei was not just a master swordsman, but also an influential figure in the development of martial arts philosophy in the early 17th century. Dude was a game changer, focusing not only on physical skills, but intangibles like spirit, strategy, and unwavering discipline. It's like he took all those self-help books you sometimes joke about and infused them with wisdom passed down through generations. The thought crosses your mind that historians still debate the extent of Yagyu's influence. Did he create an enduring legacy in martial arts? Or was it merely a highlight of a broader era? It's a discussion endlessly fascinating, much like arguing over which movie sequel truly captures the essence of the original. As anticipation builds around you, the crowd parts slightly to reveal a tall figure stepping forward. Yagyu Jubei enters the dojo with a calm confidence that stirs the energy in the air. You can feel it ripple across the gathered warriors. Dressed in traditional armor that reflects both tradition and skill, he strides forward with an imposing presence that radiates authority yet warmth, a magnetic aura that draws everyone closer. Today, he begins, his voice steady and clear, we will explore the essence of mastery. To be a true swordsman is to embrace not only the physical, but the spirit of the art. There's a deep, resonant quality to his words, and it feels as though he is speaking to your very soul. His wisdom flows like a familiar tune, reminiscent of a gentle lullaby you once heard that you can never quite forget. Yagyu's teachings today will extend beyond mere sword techniques, reflecting on the shared complexities of warrior life and the philosophies that elevate martial art above combat. You feel enraptured, absorbing everything he says, as if your heart and mind are open wells ready to receive. As groups gather around him for the lesson, you can't help but feel a flutter of apprehension coursing through you, like waiting to see if that new restaurant rising in popularity is worth all the hype. His presence alone holds the promise of transformation, and you won't miss any opportunity to soak in his wisdom. The first half of the lesson comprises breathing techniques and meditation practices designed to center the spirit. You watch as warriors close their eyes, feeling their minds shift into a state of deeper awareness. It's incredible, almost psychedelic, how the physical environment seems to change. The sunlight filtering through the trees, the soft rustle of leaves, and the gentle hum of the world around you melding into one harmonious experience. You find yourself drawn into this tranquility. It reminds you of those moments when you step back from your busy life, take a deep breath, and just be. You wish you could bottle this feeling to carry with you as a little reminder during those chaotic moments back home. Yagyu introduces several sword techniques afterward, instructing warriors to visualize their movements, almost like painting an invisible portrait in the air. You chuckle at the thought. Who knew learning swordsmanship would feel like an art class? Today, you will not just swing your swords, you will bring forth your spirit, he emphasizes, as your group breaks into partners to practice. You find yourself paired with someone new, a quiet warrior with focused eyes, yet an ineffable energy radiating beneath the surface. You can't help but compare it to realizing a new friend from your group chat is, in fact, also a great cook, revealing a whole new world of culinary delights you can't wait to explore. Your partner demonstrates Yagyu's technique fluidly, executing each move with a graceful control that leaves you captivated. You begin to emulate their motions, absorbing the basics and working your way up the complexity ladder, much like approaching a new video game and leveling up as you learn the ins and outs. During practice, you feel the emergence of a certain rhythm, a connection forming between you and your partner. With every swing, you recall Yagyu's earlier teachings about engaging your spirit, pouring your essence into the sword, like an artist infused their heart into their canvas. It's remarkable, almost surreal, how the environment fades, leaving only you and the movement. But here's the kicker. In the midst of one demonstration, as you push your focus deeper, you miscalculate a timing and nearly trip over your own foot. You stumble backward, your heart racing as embarrassment washes over you like that time you accidentally sent a message to the wrong group chat. But instead of falling flat, a warm voice reaffirms your spirit, reminding you that growth often comes from those unexpected moments. You can laugh through it, much like you would during a silly moment with friends, where no one takes themselves too seriously. The rest of the training session winds down, and when Yagyu calls everyone back together, his praises for the collective energy encourage warmth and camaraderie rising in the air. You can feel that sense of accomplishment swelling around you, charged with optimism. You realize there's a bond forming amongst your group, a tapestry of shared experiences knit together through hard work and joy. As the day concludes, you approach Yagyu to express your gratitude. He regards you with a kind smile that radiates understanding, a silent acknowledgement of your journey and growth. As you walk away, you feel his wisdom resonates within you, almost like a faint glow, reminding you that being a warrior isn't just about mastering sword techniques. It's about the journey itself and embracing every moment. Strolling back toward the common area, you find Koji waiting to bask in the glow of all that happened. You burst with excitement, recounting the lessons learned, the lingering emotions, and the realization that mastery isn't confined by perfection. Did you see how effortlessly he moved? It's like watching a bird soar while I'm still trying to figure out how to flap my wings. You laugh, and together, You both gloat over the small victories of the day, as if you were high-fiving each other over another successful meme drop in the group chat. As night descends again, covering the world around you in a celestial quilt, you feel that deep sense of gratitude settle like a soft pillow under your head. Tomorrow beckons, promising more experiences filled with both challenge and growth. Tonight, however, you take a moment to reflect on how far you've come, drawing in every experience as if collecting pieces of a puzzle that come together seamlessly. Every story, every lesson, each little slip and tumble, woven together into the tapestry of this life. You smile, allowing yourself to drift into sleep, knowing with each dawn the opportunity to write new chapters in this incredible saga waits just beyond the horizon. The next morning, you awaken enveloped in a cocoon of warmth and contentment, the gentle golden light filtering through the shutters awakening you like the softest of nudges. Stretching and yawning, you feel that pleasant ache from yesterday's training echo through your muscles. One of those satisfying reminders that exertion leads to growth. It feels good, like putting on your favorite cozy sweater first thing, after all those long, cold days of winter. Pulling yourself up, you sit for a moment, savoring the tranquility filling your room. You can't help but replay Yagyu's teachings in your head, feeling inspired and motivated to deepen your practice. Yesterday was a milestone, an experience that merged your heart and mind toward a greater understanding of not just swordsmanship, but life itself. You feel like a character stepping into an epic adventure, ready to embrace every challenge ahead with an open heart. Just like your favorite heroes from countless stories, you rise and slip into your training clothes of the day, the fabric soft against your skin, and almost imbued with all the experiences absorbed from the festival. As you walk out into the morning air, a light breeze playfully catches at your hair, whispered reminders of the beauty that surrounds you. You can almost taste the day's potential, and you know it's going to be one for the books. Stepping over to the training grounds, you find a few familiar faces eagerly chatting about what today's training might entail. Koji waves you over, animatedly bouncing on his feet. You won't believe what I heard. They say Yagyu might give us advanced techniques today. There's a sparkle in his eyes that mirrors your own excitement, and you can't help but share in that enthusiasm. Today feels like the kind of day when everything aligns, like when a popular meme you share perfectly captures the moment and brings a delightfully unexpected smile to all your friends. Because let's face it, nothing beats the rush of sharing that viral gold, and you're all about to experience a different kind of viral glory today, a glorious moment of learning and connection. As warriors begin to gather, the energy shifts from anticipation to something electric, a collective heartbeat that brings everyone together in purpose. You're all there for each other, supporting one another in pursuit of mastery. The sun hangs high in the sky, radiating warmth as Yagyu appears once more. The sight of him effortlessly commanding the space reminds you of those favorite figures from your childhood, and your excitement builds up inside. Today, Yagyu announces, his voice resonant and clear, we will explore advanced techniques that require not just physical skill, but a deep connection to the spirit of the fight. With the way he speaks, it's as if he's peeling back layers of the universe, revealing its truths, like the gentle unfolding of petals. You're absolutely captivated. The lessons before you hold more than just the promise of swordplay. They hold life lessons distilled into each movement and breath. Pay close attention, he continues. True mastery flows beyond mere technique. It requires understanding your opponent and connecting with the world around you. His words resonate like notes from an ancient musical instrument, our shared histories mingling with profound wisdom. You can feel your heart fluttering with excitement, like when the latest episode of your favorite show comes on, and you're met with that delightful rush of anticipation for every twist and turn. You can't help but wonder how much like today's world this is. For every graceful act of mastery seen in competitions, there are layers of strategy and insight hidden beneath the surface, much like the intricate planning that goes into a successful TikTok video or recipe tutorial. After a brief demonstration that sends waves of inspiration through you, Yagyu pairs everyone up for practice as he takes time to circulate, offering guidance and sharing insights into the movements. You and Koji awkwardly shake out your arms and leap into position beside each other. Ready to take this to the next level, he winks, and together you match the energy around you with shared determination. The concepts of fluidity and connection come alive as you practice the advanced techniques. You find your strikes effortlessly weaving patterns in sync with Koji's movements. With every swing, you're reminded of the tranquil yet powerful atmosphere shared among warriors. Each time your swords connect, produces a delightful sound that echoes through the air like a friendly conversation with an old friend. Familiar, comforting, credible. But midway through a particularly tricky maneuver, you miscalculate. Shock waves of panic rush through you as your sword barely glances against Koji's. It feels as though you're teetering on the edge of a cataclysmic wobble, and your heart skips a beat. Instead of falling flat, laughter erupts. You both burst into fits of giggles as the tension lifts, sharing that momentary humor, lifting the weight of the world away. It reminds you of those awkward moments with friends when you hit send on a totally ridiculous photo. And the laughter that follows is shared joy, easy, light, and freeing. Yagyu catches your laughter and looks your way, his eyes cleft with a subtle smile. It's these moments of levity that carry you forward. Humor often reflects what the heart knows best, he says, and each word lands like a soft pat on the back. You realize once again that a vital part of any warrior's journey is the ability to embrace imperfections and to share laughter. Much like how humor permeates our everyday lives, you and Koji continue practicing, gradually navigating the complexities of the techniques, finding camaraderie in that blend of learning, hammering out the details that could always be perfected. Just like that elusive dance choreography, you're still struggling to master back home. The graceful movements of swordplay begin to weave into your muscle memory, and you gradually feel the craftsmanship becoming second nature. As the day develops, you dive deeper into the philosophy of the practice. Every strike, every parry is punctuated with insight, interlaced with Yagyu's wisdom. It's enriching in a way that transcends mere physicality. You're rediscovering the harmony that exists between determined effort and surrender, a delicate balance much like the ups and downs of daily life. After an exhilarating session of swordplay, Yagyu gathers everyone again. Today, you've explored not just the art of the sword, but the essence of being a warrior. Remember, each strike is orchestrated by your spirit. Your growth extends beyond these walls. You feel illuminated, like a candle cover that has just been uncovered. There's an understanding that brings forth a sparkling ember within you, the fiery drive to take all you've absorbed and channel it into your life, transforming the mundane into the extraordinary. As the sun begins to dip, golden rays casting long shadows across the dojo, you find comfort in all that you've learned. The sense of community grows stronger, filled with hearts that share in the pursuit of growth and mastery. You glance around, witnessing the bonds forming between participants who once were strangers, now friends bound by shared experiences and laughter. The day winds down, fading into quiet, with everyone gathering for a final circle where they share what they've learned. You feel compelled to speak, heart dancing with the idea that what you've experienced goes beyond mere swordplay. Today reminded me that mastery is about connection, not just with our craft, but with each other. The gentle applause that ripples through the group warms your heart, affirming the shared weight of discovery you all collectively carry. Tonight, as the stars emerge one by one, twinkling above you like promises waiting to be fulfilled, you find yourself nestled once more in that cozy embrace of your room. The day has been rich, filled with laughter, learning, and genuine connections. It's almost a reminder that in this life, the journey is as precious as the destination. Each experience a stepping stone toward who you're becoming. As you drift off, you feel the vibrant energy of the day coursing through your veins, the whispers of Yagyu's lessons, softly ushering you into dreams filled with warriors, laughter, and the spirit of adventure that awaits. Each moment spent in this vibrant world only brings you closer to touching the greatness you've often dreamed of, and tomorrow. Who knows what new experiences await at the edge of dawn? As you slip into sleep, you can't help but smile, brimming with anticipation for each new page waiting to be written in this enchanting tale of your life. The next morning greets you with the soft dappled light of the rising sun, filtering through the wooden shutters, casting gentle patterns on the floor like a warm patchwork quilt. You stretch luxuriously, feeling that magnetizing pull of adventure tugging at your heartstrings. The echoes of yesterday's laughter still resonate in your mind, a sweet reminder of the connections forged and the lessons learned. It feels as if your heart is humming a cheerful tune, ready to embrace whatever the day cannot wait to unveil. You slip into your training attire, the fabric feeling familiar against your skin, almost like a comforting hug from an old friend. As you step outside, you're met with the fresh morning air that feels invigorating, awakening your senses like a jolt of caffeine. The day stretches before you like an unwritten story, each moment brimming with potential. Today holds a peculiar excitement. Word has spread that Yagyu may lead another session focusing on combat theories, a continuation of yesterday's journey into mastery. You can't help but picture this esteemed warrior, a figure who feels both mythic and real, sharing his wealth of wisdom. It's reminiscent of those rare glimpses of your favorite celebrities at events, where just being in the same space as them brings forth a thrill that tingles down your spine. As you approach the training grounds, a palpable sense of anticipation hovers in the air. Other warriors gather, sharing hushed whispers of theories and the unexplored aspects of combat. The camaraderie enveloping you feels warm and inviting, not unlike wrapping yourself in your coziest blanket while binging on your favorite show, all while sharing snacks and laughter with friends. When Yagyu finally arrives, the crowd hushes. He carries himself with a quiet confidence that radiates wisdom, instantly commanding attention. It's impressive, like watching a master chef work magic in the kitchen. It's entrancing to observe how someone so skilled makes it look so effortless. Today, we will explore the different dimensions of combat, he announces, his tone both authoritative and encouraging. Understanding your opponent is just as critical as refining one's skills. It's not enough to know how to strike. You need to understand how and when to strike. There's deep resonance in his words, the way they flow through you like a gentle stream guiding you forward. You can't help but contemplate this notion. How often do we engage with the world around us with urgency, neglecting the art of observation and strategy? It's a realization that ripples through you, shaping your thoughts like the delicate brushstrokes of a painter carefully adding details on a canvas. Yagyu halts the group to discuss psychological tactics, delving into the mindset of both attacker and defender. Every combat scenario is a delicate dance, he continues. You must become aware of the rhythm at play. The crux of victory often lies not just in force, but in adapting to your opponent's energy. The concept strikes a chord within you, much like the waves of feelings that accompany scrolling through deeply impactful social media posts. You realize that in both life and combat, the heartbeat of interaction matters far more than force allows. After this profound moment of reflection, Yagyu pairs everyone off, his eyes sparkling with intention. You find yourself standing against a warrior you've been practicing with before. A quiet, determined opponent, named Hana, whose focus has always impressed you. Today, you sense an unspoken connection between you, as if both of your spirits are ready for growth. As you engage in light sparring, Yagyu observes closely from the sidelines, offering gentle corrections and suggestions. The movements align smoothly as you practice the theoretical tactics just discussed, the way energy flows in each engagement. With each strike and parry, you watch Hana's reactions, endeavoring to read her movements and predictions of your intent. Consider the rhythm, Yagyu calls out periodically, weaving in pearls of wisdom that resonate in your heart. You begin to feel the flow instigating a dance-like quality in your sparring, a rhythmic exchange that pulses with life as if both of you are attempting to find common ground amidst the exchange. And that's when it happens, a miscalculated step. As you maneuver to counter her movement, you trip slightly, losing balance for a brief moment. Instead of falling apart in embarrassment, laughter bubbles up and you both break into giggles. For you, it feels akin to sharing a light-hearted moment at the expense of a poorly timed joke. A reminder that humor can disarm tension, allowing bonds to deepen beyond competition. Hana smiles brightly, her laughter infectious and freeing, echoing the sentiment that the weight of pressure should never overshadow the joy of connection. You also can't help but remember those embarrassing moments with friends that morph into enduring stories told around the campfire that bring tears of laughter years later. The practice continues with increasing ease, the bond with Hana deepening as the rhythm of your movement strengthens. Yagyu, observing the connection forming, emphasizes the spirit of partnership, how every warrior learns not only from their practice, but from the relationships built around combat. It's a beautiful thought, akin to those friendships forged by shared experiences and laughter. After several rounds of sparring and insightful corrections, Yagyu calls the group together again. The energy shifts and buzzes like static electricity crackling in anticipation. Today's practice is more than physical, he says. It's about understanding the inherently human connection that exists within combat. You all have demonstrated growth, not just as warriors, but as friends. The warmth in his gaze reflects how deeply intertwined you've all become throughout the journey. You glance around, locking eyes with your fellow warriors, each of you standing confident, knowing laughter and friendship strengthen the fabric of your learning together. When Yagyu finishes, he opens the floor to anyone who wishes to share insight from the day. You find yourself speaking up, the realization of how far you've come bubbling from within. I feel like each moment spent practicing isn't just about mastering techniques. It's about learning from one another and finding joy within the struggle. The applause you receive feels like a warm hug settling around your shoulders, supportive and affirming. As the sun begins to set, casting a golden glow that complements the warm colors of the dojo, you and your fellow warriors gather for an informal sharing of refreshments. You lounge in comfortable camaraderie, munching on rice balls and sipping warm tea while discussing the lessons learned that day. You can't help but think how extraordinary it is to share this space with such passionate individuals, collectively dedicated to honing their crafts. The conversations flow easily, stories of triumphs and blunders shared amidst laughter that brightens even the simplest moments, transforming them into vibrant memories you know you will cherish forever. As the stars begin to twinkle overhead, you take a deep, contented breath, letting it all sink in. There's a sense of fulfillment carried through each shared smile and laugh, grounding you in the beautiful journey of growth and progress, like returning to your favorite childhood book infused with lessons that age, just like fine wine, continues to deepen in flavor. As the evening winds down and the laughter fades into quiet camaraderie, you retreat to your room, the echoes of the day resonating within you. Each day has become a fluttering page in your story, filled with growth, transformation, and an understanding of the complexities woven into life's fabric. Nestled into cozy blankets, you close your eyes, reflecting on the wisdom imparted by Yagyu and the bonds formed among friends. Tomorrow holds the promise of more adventures and deeper understanding, the continuing evolution of your journey merging with friendship, laughter, and the indomitable spirit of growth. With each breath, you sink deeper into the embrace of soft dreams, where warriors like Musashi and Yagyu roam silently, guiding your path toward whatever unfolds next. The next morning, you wake refreshed, with the sun beaming through your window like a herald of new possibilities. You stretch your limbs, feeling that familiar blend of excitement and anticipation bubbling up inside you. Today feels significant, as if the universe has aligned in a way that hints at even greater adventures just around the corner. As you dress, you can't help but replay the previous day's lessons in your mind. The camaraderie shared, the graceful flow of movement during practice, and Yagyu's penetrating wisdom about the intricacies of combat and connection. It's like a treasured song that keeps playing in your head, each note sparking a sense of purpose. You take a moment to appreciate how far you've come, much like binge-watching an entire series and reflecting on the character development as if it were your own life story unfolding. Walking outside, the crisp morning air is invigorating, wrapping around you like a warm embrace. You take a moment to drink in the sights and sounds of the dojo buzzing to life with your fellow warriors arriving to embrace the day. The friendly greetings and laughter greeting you feel like sunlight pouring into your soul, filling you with warmth. While assembling in the training area, you hear whispers of anticipation for what Yagyu has planned for today. Koji bounds over to you, youthful excitement lighting up his features. I heard there might be a surprise, maybe a friendly sparring tournament. That sensation, anticipation laced with a slight tremor of nervousness, flutters in your stomach. A tournament feels like the ultimate culmination of everything you've learned, not unlike the thrilling anticipation before the finale of your favorite show. Yagyu soon appears before the gathered crowd, his presence commanding yet approachable. Today will indeed involve a friendly sparring tournament. He gestures toward the makeshift arena being prepared, and the crowd erupts in delighted cheers, that new energy bubbling in the air like fresh soda fizzing in a glass. But remember, he continues, a hint of seriousness creeping into his voice, this is not just about competition. I urge you to focus on what you've learned, connect with your partner, adapt to their movements, and embrace the spirit of camaraderie. The crowd settles down eagerly, and you can't help but feel the vibrant energy of purpose residing in everyone. You catch glances exchanged between warriors, both excitement and nervousness reflected in their eyes, just like how you once felt preparing to present in front of a group. This tournament isn't just for bragging rights or recognition. It is an opportunity to showcase your growth, to celebrate connections, and to revel in the joy of the craft you've all come to love. Once the rules are established, Yagyu starts calling out names for the first matches. Each pairing feels significant, bringing forth that familiar feeling you had before your own adventures began. You begin to wonder how many stories will grow from today's experiences, and how each warrior will weave their own narrative through every engagement. You watch as the first few matches unfold, entranced by the dynamics of the fights, fluid movements, graceful strikes, and the deeply rooted connection everyone seems to share as they engage with one another. There are moments where laughter erupts, delightfully unexpected tripping stumbles or overly theatrical swings, and they weave their way into the fabric of the day, softening the seriousness of competition with light-hearted joy. When your name is finally called, a thrill of exhilaration shoots through you. You step onto the arena with an awareness. Every heartbeat echoes a mantra. It feels transformative, almost cinematic. You meet your opponent, a spirited warrior named Sota, whose energy seems to radiate like sunlight bouncing off a smooth surface. "Ready?" Sota asks, and you nod, a grin spreading across your face. You feel your heart thrumming like a drum in your chest, echoing the excitement that has spread among the crowd. Some of your friends cheer you on, and you draw strength from their presence, reminding you of the support felt during those group photo sessions or goofy challenges where everyone rallied behind one another. As the clash begins, you recall Yagyu's teachings, channeling every lesson learned into your movements. You respond to Sota's actions and anticipate his rhythm, striking and parrying in a dance that feels both exhilarating and empowering. Each calculated motion reinforces the spirit of adaptation that has become central to your training. In those moments, you find yourself melting into the rhythm of the match, feeling like you're part of something larger than yourself, an energetic feedback loop that drives you forward. But then, during a particularly swift exchange, you feel the rush of adrenaline. It's as if time slows down. You manage to sidestep Sota's strike just as adrenaline floods your veins, and you find yourself wondering if this is what it feels like to hit that perfect peak moment in a grand adventure. You hear the crowd's supportive shouts, laughter mixing with camaraderie as the fight pushes forward, making every second feel live and electric. In the heat of it all, there's a joyous dance-like quality to your sparring, the room vibrating with a potent mix of spirit and laughter. When one of your strikes lands, it's clarified different from the way your practice partners did. An unexpected joy rushes through you. You feel vindicated, as if all the perseverance you've built up is finally breaking through the surface, like that first sip of hot chocolate after a long, chilly day. And just as you begin to revel in that feeling, your senses sharpen by each moment. The match takes a breath. Sota leans back, a grin playing on his lips. "Nice move. You really caught me off guard there." It's those words that momentarily shift your perception back to the importance of connection, the camaraderie within the arena. The realization hits you that this tournament is a celebration of growth, joy, and the relationships made. The match continues, and the back and forth exchange sharpens your focus. Each swing and parry is coupled with laughter, and you feel your bond thickening with Sota. Two warriors navigating the dance of competition bound by respect. When the match concludes, you both bow, grateful for the shared experience, both warriors acknowledging the spirit within each other. The cheers echo around you, feel like a warm blanket after a long day. You step off the arena, heart full and pulse racing, a breath of gratitude washing over you as you realize how far you've come. After a brief break, you watch the other matches unfold, feeling proud and engaged, supporting your friends, Koji's epic victory, Hana's graceful movements, and countless shared laughter punctuating the vibrant atmosphere. The whole event transforms into a beautiful tapestry woven from hard work, connection, and steadfast friendship. As the afternoon unfolds, you can feel that warm sense of camaraderie wrapping itself around you like a comforting hug. You engage in shared stories with your friends while you eagerly await to hear the announcement of the tournament results. In the final moments, when Yagyu gathers everyone around with sparkling excitement in his eyes, there's a palpable energy in the air. Each of you has demonstrated remarkable growth today. Remember that today was not just about winning. It was about celebrating the spirit of adaptation, connection, and friendship. Each warrior walked away with a unique story. As he nods toward the participants and cheers rise from the crowd, you feel the love and honor in those words. This journey has become a shared experience, one that binds you together like memories submerged in nostalgia. At the end of the day, it's the culmination of laughter, lessons, and relationships that truly matter. You walk away from the arena feeling empowered and supported by your community, sharing in the sheer exhilaration of growth. As you retreat to your cozy space for the evening, your heart brims with gratitude. Even as the echoes of battle fade further into memory, you know this is not the end. Merely another chapter in your adventure as you continue to weave your story in the grand tapestry of life. And wrapped in soft layers, you close your eyes, comforted by the thought that tomorrow will unfold more opportunities, deeper friendships, and opportunities to grow. The rhythm of your journey begins anew, softly whispering the promise of adventure beneath a blanket of stars twinkling above as you drift off to sleep. Morning light seeps through the cracks in your window, heralding another day filled with fresh possibilities and experiences waiting just beyond your fingertips. You wake up feeling rejuvenated, the echoes of yesterday's tournament still dancing in your mind like confetti falling from the sky. The sense of community forged through shared laughter and spirited competition wraps around you, just like the warmth of a beloved blanket on a chilly morning. You rise, stretching your arms and taking a deep breath, and you can't help but smile at the wonder of it all. Today holds the promise of new adventures. You glide through your morning routine, every moment colored by the energy and excitement imbued from the tournament. The day feels vibrant and alive, as if the universe itself is nudging you to jump into every thrill waiting to unfold. As you step outside, the air is crisp and invigorating, filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers and dew-kissed grass. The training grounds are already abuzz with activity, other warriors gathering for warm-up exercises and light sparring. It's the same inviting atmosphere that had become your second home, buzzing with energy mingled with laughter. You see Koji bouncing over, explosively radiant after yesterday's tournament. I can't believe how much fun that was. His enthusiasm bubbles over like champagne, and you can't help but join in the jubilance. The joy of connection and growth still lingers in your heart, igniting your spirit for what lies ahead. Among the crowd, Yagyu greets everyone with a gentle smile. Today, we will focus on honing your skills with a twist. Workshops emphasizing individual strengths. Each warrior nods, excitement rippling through the group like the growing momentum before a particularly exhilarating roller coaster ride. As workshops begin, you find yourself diving deep into the nuances of technique, rhythm, and focus. Today's theme is enhancement, recognizing and refining your individual style as a swordsman. You can't wait to absorb every detail, knowing that uncovering your unique abilities will shape you as a warrior. Much like curating that perfect playlist that just knows your mood from each beat to each lyric, your workshop begins, and you're paired with Hana again. The two of you encouraging each other like loyal friends navigating uncharted waters. Let's take what we learned and see how to apply it today, she says, her determination visible in her focus. As you practice together, you support one another by experimenting with various techniques, blending agility with strategy. Every swing of your sword feels like painting on a canvas as you form an evolving image of what each of your styles represents. Hana's graceful waves harmonize with your more grounded stance, creating something truly dynamic. Your laughter dances in the air with each new movement, underscoring the delight in exploration. Reflecting on Yagyu's teachings, you focus particularly on rhythm and motion. As you deceive your partner with swift feints, you recall how earlier sparring sessions emphasize connection. Therein lies the beauty of combat, inducting the spirit of understanding to elevate each movement into art. Hours flow by, each moment filled with energy, culminating in shared encouragement and laughter. The connections you continue to forge deepen within you, effortlessly weaving you into the heart of this community. You feel a sense of belonging, no different from being enveloped by cheerful friends at a celebration. As the workshops continue, you rotate through different stations, a team-focused drill over here, illuminating combative strategies with others, finally arriving at a station that focuses on solo training. With your sword, you mimic fluid motions against the wind, practicing strikes with unwavering determination, like learning a new martial arts form, each step etching the essence of your journey into every breath. With each strike and block, you echo Musashi's shape. It brings forth the realization that mastering your craft is an ongoing journey of evolution. You relish witnessing each warrior grow, whether through individual strengths or shared techniques. Every interaction is both a lesson and a friendship forged, half dancing, half learning. Afterward, you gather around with your fellow warriors, sharing insights and celebrating triumphs from earlier workshops. Each successful technique brings forth cheers, building a chorus of enthusiasm that resonates through the dojo. The day is a testament to the idea that the journey isn't just about individual accomplishments, but about the community that forms its heart. Eventually, Yagyu gathers everyone together, his voice rising above the ambient chatter. Today's workshops were just a glimpse of your potential. Remember, mastery is not merely an endpoint, but a continual pursuit. Embrace it. Take it with you, both in combat and in life. The word embrace resonates particularly deep with you. It feels like the heartbeat of this transformational journey, defining every interaction. As the sun begins to slip lower in the sky, casting elegant stripes of golden light throughout the dojo, you reflect on the immense joy communication and collaboration have brought into your life. The spark of understanding woven into every technique. As the day winds down, you feel invigorated and inspired. You walk back to your space, knowing that this journey is far from over. Peeking around the dojo, you share laughs and assured embraces with your comrades, celebrating not just the achievements of practice, but the friendships forged through trials and victories. When evening blankets the dojo in twilight, you find your favorite quiet spot, where you can catch your breath and cherish the day's lessons. The warm golden glow of lanterns creates a cozy ambience that feels almost magical. In this space, it's easy to reflect on how much you've grown, both as a warrior and a friend. With the day's adventures behind you, you lean into the calm, allowing your mind to settle. Each moment spent here, whether sparring, laughing, or learning, further strengthens your bonds, wrapping around you like a comforting embrace. It's a reminder that this community has not only enriched your journey, but has become an integral part of your identity. Like a family forged through shared experiences, you close your eyes, envisioning the paths that lie ahead. Tomorrow, the journey of becoming will continue. A new day bursting with new challenges, learning and growth. With dreams full of promise, you let yourself drift off, knowing that you're on the brink of yet another transformative adventure. The night whispers secrets of bravery and possibility in your ear as you surrender to the sweet embrace of sleep. Part of your heart forever woven into the rich tapestry of this warrior life. When morning light spills into your room the following day, it carries with it the promise of new experiences. You stretch and breathe deeply, feeling the pleasant weight of warmth and possibility enfolding you like your favorite blanket. The energy buzzing in your chest is palpable, like a gentle nudge, urging you to jump into the day. You rise and throw on your training clothes, feeling the familiar fabric against your skin. As you step outside, the crisp air greets you like an old friend. You're met with the sounds of the dojo coming to life, your fellow warriors exchanging cheerful banter and preparing themselves for another day of practice. Chatter buzzing like honeybees dancing among vibrant blossoms. Today feels particularly exhilarating. The lingering energy from the previous day's workshops thickens the air, crackling with promise. Perhaps it's the unfolding of deeper connections. Or maybe it's the anticipation of another layer of mastery waiting to be unveiled. Whatever it is, it charges your spirit with excitement. Gathered in the training yard, you notice Yagyu is at the forefront with an enthusiastic glint in his eyes. Today we'll focus on integration, using skills you've cultivated through workshops in more spontaneous exercises. Expect challenges that test your adaptability. The crowd erupts in applause, a collective pulse of excitement that thunders through the air, like the refreshing confidence that surges just before a roller coaster clinks to a start. After a warm-up session that feels both invigorating and grounding, participants pair off for the morning exercises. You find yourself teamed up with Hana once again, her unwavering determination radiating as you begin to bounce ideas off each other. Let's see how we can blend our strengths, she suggests, her smile infectious. You begin with fluid practice, working together to integrate what you've learned, translating the fluidity of previous techniques into more spontaneous movements. Each strike becomes a game of intuition and understanding as you adapt to one another's rhythm, almost like dancing to a favorite song, feeling each note guide your every motion. There's a lightness in the air, juxtaposed against the intensity of combat training. You can't help but laugh at the contrasting balance. It's akin to the blend of seriousness and joy found in competitive gaming, where every round brings the thrill of battle, but plays out on the stage of camaraderie and playful rivalry. After a round of practice, Yagyu gathers everyone for a brief discussion. Today's integration exercises will help unearth your unique adaptations as warriors. Embrace these opportunities. Your strength isn't solely in physical might. It resides in your ability to connect with your partner and the ebb and flow of each moment. There's profundity in his message, and it washes over you like a refreshing wave, reminding you how combat, much like life itself, calls for constant adaptation to the rhythms of expression and connection. It's something akin to navigating relationships, where one must learn to flow with every dynamic turn, rather than forcing mechanisms into rigid patterns. As you dive deeper into the training, the lessons start unfolding in real time. The spontaneous exercises sharpen your awareness. You anticipate how your partner performs, much like discerning the facial cues in a meaningful conversation. Your movements become a reflection of understanding, testing your intuition and awareness as you channel Yagyu's advice. In one intense sparring match, you notice Hana gracefully altering tactics as she responds to your movements. It feels almost magical, akin to when artistically inclined friends collaborate seamlessly on an art piece, each brushstroke echoing the other's vision. You can feel the presence of each other's energy, and it solidifies the bond you've built through these practices. During one particularly challenging exchange, you fumble slightly, losing balance for a moment. But instead of feeling defeated, you both dissolve into cheerful laughter, a moment of levity encapsulating the spirit of growth woven into every interaction. Breathless and grinning, you find joy not just in the challenge, but in discovering the humor that lies amongst the learning. Just like when you and your friends crack jokes during a competitive board game night, fraught with tension. As the morning unfolds, Yagyu integrates additional complexity into the exercises, deepening your connection to combat and yourself. Each skill you practice feels akin to adding new tools to your ever-expanding kit of self-discovery. The joy of pushing your limits transforms the dojo into a vibrant tapestry of energy filled with camaraderie, laughter, and realization. When practice concludes for the morning, your heart swells with appreciation for the connections stretching beyond combat. You recognize the delicate threads of friendship interlaced through every shared laugh, every supportive cheer. As the warriors gather to reflect on what they've gleaned from the day, you feel a palpable sense of belonging, a soothing balm in a world that sometimes feels chaotic. Later that afternoon, Yagyu organizes a friendly tactical game, incorporating the skills you've built, transforming combat into a playful contest where teamwork and strategy become the focal point. There's an electric excitement among the crowd, akin to the days when everyone would rally together to watch the big game on TV, the passion tightening bonds of friendship, leaving behind echoes of fierce loyalty. As the game unfolds, you work alongside your fellow warriors. Feints, dodges, and combined strikes make the air sparkle with energy, each maneuver perfectly synchronized with your partner's. You can sense the heartbeat of every moment, how every strike carries with it the weight of experience and the lightness of joy. Each exchange becomes a dance. No, a fusion of souls weaving together. You feel yourself growing stronger, not just as a swordsman, but as an integral part of this community. The laughter, challenges, and celebrations lead you deeper into understanding the essence of being a warrior. As the day starts to fade, you retreat within to catch your breath, cherishing every moment spent in the spirit of growth and friendship. The warmth of the camaraderie spirals around you as you gather with your fellow warriors in the evening light, retiring to share stories of the day's adventures, each story richer than the last, painting a picture of a vibrant life filled with color. When Yagyu encourages everyone to reflect on their learning experiences, you find a swell of thoughts flooding in, realizations that bind you closer to both your friends and the craft you've come to love. You speak, voice steady. Every step we've taken together feels significant, and these connections have solidified my journey. After a round of applause rings around, the group disperses, hearts buoyed by one another's shared experiences. You take a moment to stand still, gazing at the dojo bathed in the golden light, appreciating how this place has transformed you. Here lies a world of friendship, understanding, and the continual push toward greatness. Walking back to your room, a sense of fulfillment bubbles within, igniting that familiar spark of excitement, the kind that feels like unearthing buried treasure, full of promise and discovery. As you settle into bed, you find comfort in knowing that tomorrow promises more growth, adventuring deeper into life alongside all those cherished friends. With your heart full, you surrender into the gentle embrace of sleep, allowing the whispers of another adventure to guide you away. Yet again, tomorrow will herald the dawn of exploration, the trail of unknown stories just waiting to be unfurled as you navigate life's intricate tapestry, one golden thread at a time. The morning dawns with a sense of calm, a gentle stillness that envelops your room like a soft quilt. You blink awake as the sun spills through the window, casting patterns on the floor that beckon you to start the day. Stretching lazily, you feel invigorated, a thrilling anticipation electrifying the air around you. Today is special, not just because of the training, but because of the deeper understanding that continues to unfurl within you. You rise from your makeshift bed and perform a familiar routine of morning stretches, each one grounding you further into this beautiful life you're creating. You slip on your training attire, a comfortable reminder of all the moments filled with laughter, lessons, and heart-fueled effort. As you step outside, the cool morning air greets you like a welcome friend. The dojo is alive with activity. Warriors are gathering, voices mingling in a joyful chorus that brings a smile to your face. You can hear the familiar chatter and laughter taking shape in bursts of excitement, and it feels as though a great event is filled with promise. Koji skips over, practically vibrating with enthusiasm. Did you hear? Yagyu's organizing a day of challenges. It's like an epic course to test our mastery. His eyes sparkle with anticipation, just as yours do. Like those treasured moments waiting for the latest game release, the thought sends a thrill down your spine. There's nothing quite like participating in a friendly challenge that draws on all you've learned. The day begins with a warm-up. Everyone participating in group exercises that blend laughter with rigorous training. Yagyu stands at the forefront, guiding movements, his presence radiating encouragement. Today, you will engage in varied challenges that test not only your skills, but your adaptability and connection with each other. Embrace the spirit of competition while fostering your friendships. The air crackles with exhilaration as warriors pair off and group together, ready to tackle whatever tasks lie ahead. The buzzing energy surrounding you ignites a feeling of belonging. This is not just about each individual push toward greatness, but how each person contributes to the collective spirit of the dojo. As you survey the arena where the challenges will take place, you feel an electric anticipation stitch through you, coursing alongside the frantic pulse of your heart. The first challenge is announced, an obstacle course that incorporates aspects of combat training to navigate through various physical tests. It's reminiscent of those playful game nights spent strategizing with friends, where each match is filled with humorous banter and the thrill of competition. You find yourself paired with Hana again, a warrior who brings not only technical skill, but humor and spirit to your partnership. "Okay," she says, her voice bright with enthusiasm. Let's see how we can conquer this course together. The two of you line up at the starting area, and as the whistle blows, you both dash forward with infectious energy. Weapons ready and spirits soaring, you navigate the first obstacle, a balance beam meant to simulate a narrow ledge during battle. You quickly discover that it's vital to communicate with one another as you stride along. As you both move in sync, it feels as if the world has narrowed down to just the two of you. Every shared thought and movement synchronized like the most beautifully choreographed dance. With laughter breaking through any trace of tension, you shout encouragement as Hannah nearly stumbles but manages to regain her footing. "You've got this," you cheer, and together you tackle the course, adapting to each new challenge as it arises. The course morphs into something akin to a retro action video game. Each challenge propels you forward, swinging ropes, hurdles, and strikes against practice dummies that keep popping up in your path. You adapt quickly, finding joy in every moment, reveling in the connection you share with Hana as you navigate this playful dance with abandon. As the course comes to an end, bursting through the final obstacle feels exhilarating. You and Hana high-five, breathless and filled with laughter. "We did it," you beam, and you share a moment of pure joy as the cheers from fellow warriors resonate in the air. After the first challenge concludes, you watch as other pairs tackle their own courses, exchanging playful banter and encouragement. Watching the camaraderie rise fills you with gratitude, a reminder of how challenges can forge deeper connections amongst friends and fellow warriors. The day unfolds like layers of colored silk unfurling to showcase the beauty of every friendship. With more team challenges on the agenda, you and your fellow warriors participate in a friendly sparring tournament bracket style. It feels reminiscent of those moments in school, when everyone gathered around for a contest that united groups, a melodious mixture of teamwork and rivalry. As you observe the matches, your heart swells with excitement for all your friends battling, each of them relishing the chance to showcase their skills, fueled by laughter and respect. When it's your turn, you step into the makeshift arena against Koji, the anticipation surging within you like a tide. "Don't go easy on me," he shouts playfully, a wink betraying the competitive spirit simmering beneath the surface. You smile, ready for the match, echoing the energetic rhythm of the room. As the duel begins, every movement feels beautifully choreographed, where victory dances just out of reach. You both pivot and strike, taking turns dodging and adapting to each other's style. It's exhilarating, the laughter shared amidst the intensity echoing the moments spent building connections alongside friends, creating memories that would last a lifetime. Trading blows, you feel the energy of the crowd piercing the air. It's contagious, feeding the fervor between you and Koji. Each cheer resonates with encouragement. You can't help but admire the lightness and joy that thrives in this space. There's no pressure to win or to be perfect. Every action is a chance for growth, shared in a moment of friendship. As you feel the match winding down, you both tumble into a light-hearted finish, landing in synchronized laughter, hearts filled with rich joy. Afterward, you bow to one another, grateful for the spirited exchange, celebrating the essence of what it means to share this journey together. Throughout the day, laughter bounces around like musical notes soaring through the air, echoing the spirit of friendly competition. Every challenge deepens the bonds among warriors, strengthening the connections you've cultivated through blood, sweat, and laughter. As the sun begins to dip in the sky, casting warm hues across the horizon, Yagyu gathers everyone for a closing circle. Around you, warriors beam with happiness, having celebrated each personal journey while fostering powerful connections along the way. Today was about more than just testing your skills, Yagyu remarks, his voice steady and warm. It was about the heart and spirit embodied in every challenge. Remember, adversity is not to be feared. It is a companion and teacher that fosters great friendships. A wave of applause ripples through the crowd, and you absorb Yagyu's words, brimming with pride and gratitude. This journey, the shared laughter, the acts of mutual support, the transformations experienced over these days, now feels like an indelible tapestry woven from countless threads of human connection. Later, as twilight descends upon the dojo and lanterns begin to flicker to life, you gather with your friends, sharing stories and memories built from the day's events. The air is filled with a sense of fulfillment, laughter, and chatter blending seamlessly into melodies of friendship. As you drift into the evening, enveloped by the warmth of camaraderie and shared purpose, you allow your heart to reflect on this ongoing journey. Today has been a reminder that every challenge, every moment spent training, and every laugh shared with friends only deepens your understanding of what it means to grow. When night falls and you retreat to your cozy space, you settle into bed, softly worn from the spirited day, but perfectly content. The whispers of adventure and friendship wrap around you snugly as you close your eyes, ready to surrender to the dreams of tomorrow, reborn with the hope of uncharted stories waiting to be written. As you drift into that peaceful state, you know tomorrow will unfold layers of exploration, adventure, and the boundless joy of life itself. The morning light kisses your face gently, attracting you from your dreams with the promise of another day filled with possibilities. You stretch and blink, those radiant beams coaxing you awake with a joyful energy. It's a beautiful day, a perfect canvas waiting to be painted with fresh experiences. As you slip into your training attire, you revel in the comfort of familiar fabric. Each piece seems to encourage you, reminding you of the lessons learned and friendships forged over the last few days under Yagyu's guidance. You head outside, inhaling the crisp morning air, filled with the sense of dew-kissed grass and blooming flowers that wrap around you like soft whispers of a new adventure. The dojo is alive once again, graced with the presence of fellow warriors. Their jovial chatter fills the air, a comforting soundtrack as warriors gather for warm-up exercises. You feel a sense of belonging wash over you, a reminder that you are part of a community that celebrates growth, laughter, and the beauty of shared experiences. There is an electric buzz, a reminder of the vibrant connections that tie everyone together. Once the warm-up session concludes, Yagyu emerges, his energy radiating authority, yet approachability. Today we'll focus on applying what you've mastered in cooperative scenarios. Expect challenges that will require both teamwork and strategy as we embrace the spirit of collaboration. His words ignite a flurry of excitement throughout the group, a palpable thrill dancing in the air like a firework ready to burst. You can hear the eagerness rising among your friends, that delightful spark of competition that always makes things just a bit more exhilarating. The first challenge combines elements of combat and teamwork. You divide into pairs and are tasked with protecting each other from advancing opponents while navigating an obstacle course. A mix of planning, communication, and execution fuels the challenge, creating an environment that feels both exhilarating and welcoming, like joining in on a friendly sports match after school. You partner up with Hana again, face to face in the mission. Let's create a strategy, she suggests, the gleam in her eyes reflecting shared determination. Together, you outline a plan, balancing offense and defense, leveraging your strengths to cover each other's weaknesses. As the exercise kicks off, you both spring into action, navigating through the course filled with hurdles and dummies to practice strikes, cheering each other on as you weave through obstacles like dancers at a grand ball. You feel the synergy as you take turns blocking and striking. Your instincts hone to respond effortlessly to each other's movements. Every pivotal moment feels tied to each heartbeat, and with each strike, laughter echoes around you, blending seamlessly into an uplifting symphony. It's a reminder that you are engaged in something bigger than mere combat. This is about connection, understanding, and the joy of companionship. Much like rallying friends for a game night full of humor and camaraderie. As you reach the end of the course, a collective cheer arises from the spectators, and you can't help but bask in that wave of excitement. You high-five Hana, breathless and exhilarated, grinning from ear to ear. It feels incredible, each pulse of joy reinforcing the bonds formed through shared laughter and determination. With each subsequent challenge, you rotate partners, experiencing an array of dynamics with different warriors. In every engagement, you draw from the collective strength of camaraderie and continue to adapt. Learning to appreciate the nuances of teamwork, you can see the light in everyone's eyes. This challenge is not merely a test, but an opportunity to build deeper connections, just like trading witty banter in conversations that spark joy. When the final challenge culminates, Yagyu calls everyone back together, heartwarming smiles lighting up his face as he speaks. Each of you has shown remarkable growth and teamwork. Remember, the bonds you create are just as important as the skills you develop. Warrior spirit thrives in fellowship. Applause erupts from the assembled group, and you can feel the warmth of the community enveloping you, like an embrace from dearly beloved friends. You take a moment to reflect on how each connection has enriched your journey and deepened your understanding of combat, not just as a battlefield, but as a shared experience that intertwines heart, spirit, and joy. The day winds down, the sun dipping toward the horizon and painting the sky in warm hues. You gather with your friends, exchanging stories and experiences from the challenges while sipping tea and sharing snacks. Laughter and camaraderie fill the air, spirits soaring high from mutual support, embroidered with joyous moments like colorful patches on an ever-growing quilt. As night descends, the early laughter transforms into a more intimate gathering. Fellow warriors share their thoughts on perseverance, growth, and the relationships woven through shared experiences. You listen and contribute, feeling that palpable energy of belonging swell within, a wonderful reminder that you are an integral part of this ever-evolving journey. As you settle down for the evening, wrapped in cozy blankets with flickering lanterns illuminating the space, reflections from the day twirl around your mind like fireflies dancing through the night. You realize how growth is as much about teamwork and friendship as it is about individual mastery. The intertwining paths forging connections through joy and shared laughter. Finally, as you retreat to your room, you close your eyes, taking a deep breath. You drift off thinking of the bonds formed today and the adventures ahead, falling asleep surrounded by the sweet promise of new horizons waiting to unfold. You know that this journey is merely a chapter in your story, one filled with laughter, learning, and the thrill of being a part of something so beautifully vibrant. With dreams of tomorrow dancing beneath the surface, you surrender to sleep, embraced by the warmth of friendship and adventure that lies ahead, knowing that each morning presents a fresh chance to grow and explore your warrior spirit further. The light of a new day spills softly into your room, gently waking you from your slumber. As the golden rays stretch across the floor like cat paws reaching for warmth, you blink the sleep from your eyes and stretch your limbs. welcoming the morning with eagerness. Another day lies before you, rich with potential and ready for exploration. You rise, feeling a satisfying weight on your shoulders, a reminder of the friendships and teachings that have become your armor through this journey. Sliding into your training outfit, you're met with a sense of familiarity that feels right, almost like reuniting with an old friend who appreciates your journey as much as you do. Stepping out into the morning air, you breathe deeply, taking in the vibrant colors of nature awakening around you. The sense of dew-dampened grass mix with the faint floral aroma wafting nearby. The dojo is filling up quickly. The sounds of warrior camaraderie echo across the yard in bursts of laughter and animated conversations. You spot Koji, his enthusiasm practically bursting out of him like a firework. Guess what? Today, we're working on kata sequences, focusing on fluidity and precision. I'm so ready for this. His eyes gleam with excitement, radiating an infectious energy that whirls around you and stirs your own anticipation. As you gather with your fellow warriors, Yagyu stands at the ready, exuding a calm authority that always instills confidence. Today we focus on kata, forms that combine technique, fluidity, and intentionality. Mastering kata is essential, not only for accuracy, but also for developing the mental standards of a warrior. He gestures expansively. This practice allows you to internalize movement, giving you the tools to adapt in real combat situations. The emphasis on fluidity and precision fills you with a rich sense of purpose, similar to the kind of focus you feel when you're preparing for a challenging project or diving into a hobby you adore. Yagyu's voice resonates within you, and you realize that today's practice feels like a step deeper into your personal exploration of mastery. After a brief warm-up, you pair up with Hana once again, her focused determination bubbling through her movements. Are you ready to take your kata to the next level? She grins, and you feel exhilarated at the challenge ahead. The respect and synergy you've built deepen as you engage in the fluid forms, each kata revealing layers of precision and rhythm. As you both practice the various sequences, your movements become more synchronized, a beautiful reflection of both of your spirits. With every kata, you draw from your earlier experiences, refining your understanding of technique while striving for that essential balance between intention and energy. It's a lovely dance, each motion flowing into the next, like stepping through a meticulously choreographed performance. The dojo is a vibrant tapestry of energy as pairs and groups practice different kata throughout the space. Muffled sounds of determination and laughter providing a soundtrack to the serious practice. Each warrior seems lost in their own world, yet you can also feel the collective spirit surrounding you, an invisible thread connecting all of you in this sacred practice. Midway through, Yagyu stops by your training space and observes your kata. Notice how ease can birth strength, he remarks, his eyes sparkling with the joy of sharing knowledge. Too often we believe that power must be forced. True mastery lies in the grace and flow you radiate. You inhale deeply, this nugget of wisdom settling warmly in your chest. There's something deeply comforting about the idea. How often in life do we forget that grace and strength can coalesce naturally, rather than through sheer force? It's a gentle reminder that resonates with you, leading to the revelation that the mindfulness gained in these practices transcends combat, flowing through your daily life and into your interactions with others. After several rounds of practice, Yagyu asks pairs to demonstrate their kata before the group, showcasing the fluidity you've been honing. The atmosphere in the dojo transforms as warriors take turns stepping into the arena, performing sequences with grace under Yagyu's watchful eye. Each demonstration is punctuated by shouts of encouragement from the watching crowd, a symphony of support that reverberates throughout the space. You watch various pairs, each executing their movements with unique flair. You admire the fluid grace of Asuka's kata, the way her body seems to flow like water, contrasting sharply with the precision of Ren's movements, each strike resembling an arrow shot straight and true. The interconnectedness of these styles sends shivers down your spine. Every warrior brings a unique voice to the canvas of combat. When it's your turn, you feel that familiar surge of adrenaline dance within you. You and Hana step into the arena, exchanging a supportive nod. With the focused energy from your earlier practice, you prepare to embody every ounce of training that has brought you to this moment. Starting the kata feels seamless, each movement flowing like poetry, each strike and parry echoing the beauty of shared learning. The crowd's cheers and support blend into a rhythmic cadence, guiding your intuitive spirit as you translate every lesson into motion. You hear Yagyu's calm presence in your mind, reminding you of ease and grace. You embody the flow of the movements, letting your body dance through the sequence, striking and transitioning like creeks, forming rivulets down a mountainside. As you reach the climax of your performance, you feel exhilarated. A wave of warmth crosses your heart when you finish, bowing graciously to Hana and the audience. The room erupts in applause, and you can feel the swell of pride washing over you, an embrace of camaraderie that transcends mere competition. With a big grin, you turn to Hana. "We did it. That felt incredible." After all the kata demonstrations are complete, Yagyu calls everyone in for feedback. Today's practice showed us that strength flows from understanding, adaptability, and teamwork. "You've embodied that spirit wonderfully," he says, his smile uplifting. "Remember that the grace of your movements draws from the connections formed here. Continue to support one another in every challenge you face. The sense of warmth envelops you as you return to your mat among comrades. Conversations ripple through the dojo as warriors share their experiences, hearts brimming with joy and accomplishment. Each reflection further strengthens the intricate web of friendships that have formed, bonds etched in laughter, dedication, and shared journeys. With evening's onset, the dojo shifts into a cozy haven, lanterns glowing gently like stars, inviting you to delve deeper into your heart. As you settle in with your friends to share a meal, the conversation flows effortlessly, seamlessly weaving through tales of triumph and vulnerability. Every narrative paints a vivid picture of growth and strength. After dinner, the group settles in for a round of storytelling, resting from the day's activities. As each warrior shares a slice of their journey, the lessons learned, the friendships forged, you feel grateful. It's a beautiful reminder that these moments shared, echoed with joy and laughter, are what truly enrich your days. When it's your turn, you take a deep breath. "This journey has shown me how connected we all are," you share, heart warmed by the energy in the room. Every moment spent working together transforms us. Each friendship strengthens our spirits, and I'm truly grateful to be part of this amazing community. The warm applause that follows envelops you in a soothing embrace, a confirmation of shared understanding. Laughter and camaraderie simmer in the air, reminding you that this experience is about connection, mutual support, and the continuous pursuit of growth. As the evening winds down and you settle for the night, those thoughts of friendship and community settle warmly in your heart. Tomorrow promises yet another day of adventure, with opportunities waiting to unfold just beyond the horizon. Nestled in your cozy space, You close your eyes, your mind drifting into dreams filled with possibilities, friendships, and shared laughter. You are part of this vibrant tapestry, interwoven with the stories of each warrior around you, feeling the glow of their spirits with every breath. As sleep wraps around you like a soft blanket, you surrender happily to visions of what awaits as you continue to navigate this incredible journey together.